Hello. Well, this should be fun. I think I'm just talking to myself at this point. Let's see, yeah. There's nobody here, but that's all right. I need to get this set up anyway. Yeah, because Logic crashed. Why wouldn't it crash? It's always crashing. We have one new viewer. Hello. It is a horribly rainy day in Los Angeles today, but I kind of like it. Let's see. What do we have? New project. Hello. What's up, Irma? What's up, Nikki? All right, I'm just gonna kind of play around with some stuff here till we get a few more people in the chat. What do we have here? Ooh, the 80s. Andy, my man. All right, I gotta figure out, what does this button do? Chat viewings, live chat, okay. Does it just pop up here when people say things? I don't know. Somebody type something so I can see it. This is my first time, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Wait, I want to see more chats. If I'm not looking, they go away. But yeah, what's going on, guys? I figured I would come on here. I think I'm gonna start doing this every Sunday for like an hour. You know, maybe a little less, maybe a little longer. But just come on here and hang out with you guys for a little bit and make some music. I don't know, answer questions, drink coffee. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna be, what's gonna happen? I don't know. I put on my my story today that I was doing a little bit of work this morning, and my computer just like did not want to work at all. It was so slow, and I was trying to finish up this project, and it just did not want to work. Yeah, so I'm working on another audiobook for Scholastic, and they came back and said that they needed a little bit more music. They really liked everything that I and the production team did. So yeah, I was making more music today, and I have to have it done by this afternoon, which will happen. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, it was like so stressful today trying to trying to work with a computer that did not want to work. So I don't know. My computer, you know, you can see I do everything on a laptop over here, and I need to probably think about upgrading my laptop soon. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, yeah, exactly. Upgrade time, exactly. Well, yeah. Should we jump in? Should we try and make something? I don't know. Why not? So I did this poll on my socials the other day, and it came back. I think I had like 3 or 4 options. I had hip hop, rock, pop, or indie, which are kind of like the 4 that I work in the most. And everybody said pop. That was like the biggest voting group, whatever you call that, the biggest winner. So yeah, I would say let's try some pop stuff. Here, I'll get a guitar. We got 14 people in the chat. I love it. That's more than I expected, honestly. All right. All right, getting a guitar patch pulled up. Thank you. They'll come. They'll come. Let's see. All right, getting closer here. Yeah, so this is a Fender Stratocaster, and I've used this guitar. This was one of the first guitars I ever bought, like 20 years ago. I think I bought it at Guitar Center. And there was a time where I thought that I was going to sell it. I was like, I don't really play it anymore. I don't really use it. Like, you know, maybe I could trade it for something else. And thankfully I didn't, because this is now one of my favorite guitars. I used this guitar for pretty much all of the Heffron Drive stuff back in the day. It went on tour with me in Big Time Rush, and yeah, I got new pickups put in it a few years ago, and it like completely changed the guitar. So that would be one of my like recommendations, is if you're playing guitar and you're kind of like, you know, getting tired of the sounds or something that comes out of it, just try changing the pickups, because it like seriously made it a completely new guitar. I can't even believe that it's the same one. The ones I got put in here are called are from a company called Lambertones, and I think they're in like Seattle or the Pacific Northwest somewhere. Really, really great stuff. They're all hand wound, and just, you know, I can't say enough good things about them. Really, really good. All right, well, I figured today I've been you know, digging the funk pop thing recently, and you know, it's very popular. It might be a little worn out, but you know, who cares? I don't know, it's fun. So I figured, like, let's try something there. Okay, we'll start with that. Actually, that might be a little bit too much. Gain. What can we go to? Here, we'll go down here. Alright, that's good enough for now. And then let's find a tempo that works. Too fast. I think that's 120. Maybe I'll go down to like 100. See what that sounds like? Okay. It sounds out of tune. Let's tune. You guys have any questions? Anything you're curious about? There we go. Okay, let's screw it. Let's just do something. All right, now that's a little slow. That's kind of what this is, you know? It's like, it's always just playing around and like figuring out what works, what doesn't. And as we go along, I might record something and then it might not work. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, that sucks. Let's get rid of it. And that happens all the time. All right, let's try this. I don't know, something. Let's keep going. All right, so we'll quantize this. It took me years before I learned, also like, this is like 10 years ago, but I learned that you could quantize audio. When I found out you could quantize audio, I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. I still think it's cool. Like, you know, it makes a sloppy player sound good. And I can be sloppy at times. All right, let's see what we got here. Clean this up a little bit. Where are you guys all tuning in from? I'm curious. All right. Alright, I don't like that, so let's get rid of this one. We'll do this guy. Bring this over. You know, as we, Mexico, hell yeah! Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I'm based in LA, and we've had these crazy, crazy, crazy fires. Hi from Italy. Hello to Italy. I miss Italy. One of my favorite places. But yeah, I'm based in LA, and we've had these crazy fires out here. And they finally died down a little bit, but now we have this crazy rain. And this kind of happens every year, like, not to this extent, but like, you know, the rainy season always follows the fire season. So what happens after that? Well, the fires take and destroy everything, and now we get mudslides with all the rain. So it's just like, it's been like one natural disaster after the other in Los Angeles. Hi from the gym. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. All right, that guy needs a little tweak. I'll just move him over here. All right, bring him down a little bit. Yeah, I know it's sad what's happened in LA. Thankfully we're okay where we are, and you know, we didn't have to like evacuate or anything. We did wind up leaving town for a couple days because the air quality was so bad, but it's devastating what's happened, and we've had friends that have lost homes, and you know, studios are gone, and just it's sad. You know, they say that like people, you can always replace, you know, guitars or whatever it is, but then there's all the stuff that you can't replace, like family pictures and letters that were written to you from grandparents or something, you know. It's like stuff like that. It's just like, it's so sad to see that go. So I feel really bad for everybody that lost things, because that's horrible. My family went through a natural disaster when I was a kid, and we lost everything, so I know what that feeling's like, and it's horrible. So yeah, we will rebuild. Everything will be good. But at the moment, it's a little hairy. All right, so we got this guitar riff. It's like a little 4-bar riff. Let's listen now. All right, I don't really like that last note, but whatever. We'll fix it later. Fix it in post. That's what they say in Hollywood. All right, let's get some drums going. I want something to groove to here. All right, let's find a punchy kick. Can you guys hear me okay? I didn't really check the audio. I don't really know how to do that. Hopefully it's okay. I know some of you can't hear because you're in places like restaurants and gyms and stuff. All right, let's get this guy going. This sounds nice and punchy. Yeah, eventually, when I learn how to do this more, I would love to like share my screen so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So it's like not just me, you know, talking to a phone. Let's see what this sounds like. I think I want to change that kick pattern. The 4 on the floor is just so boring to me. All right, let's go there. Oh, early. What the heck? I should have just played this. All right, starting over, like I said we do sometimes. All right, drag this in. Oh, I just missed another comment. How do I see these? Isn't there a way? There's got to be a way. Top chat, live chat. All messages are visible. There we go. Now I can see. Where's Chester though? I think he's manning the living room. He's in like protector pup mode. There we go. All right, let's try this. Nope, that's not it. Something. All right. Where's this? Guess I'm like not totally in frame. All right. I like that. I like that. Let's get some snares going. Ooh, that's cool. It's kind of 70s, 80s-esque. It's nice and dry. I like that actually. Let's try that. Let's see what happens here when I try that guy. Apparently nothing happens. Oh, computer. Or maybe it's user error. It's probably user error. Twitch is a bit easier. Well, that's good to know. What's up, Erica? How are you? All right. What is the drum pack you're using? Well, good sir, I'm glad you asked. The drum pack I am using, this is from Oliver Power Tools, and the snare, and then the kick is where is that from? It's a Kashmir sample. So what I do is like I'll find a sample, and then I will drag that into a sampler in Logic. And for a long time, what I did was I would just drag the sample in and then replicate it however I needed to. However, what I found was that later on, as in the process, as the whole production thing starts going, I would get further along and I go, damn, that kick sample sucks now. Like, it doesn't fit in the mix. I can't get it to fit right. Or, if I was working with a client or something that, they came back and they'd be like, oh, I need like a punchier kick, or, something a little more dead, or, whatever the note was. And so then I would have to go back and like physically like replace each sample. And I went, this is stupid. This is so stupid. So what I do now is I drag it into a sampler. I play it. It's the same sound. But then if something needs to get changed later, all I have to do is just replace the sample in the sampler, and it, automatically changes everything. It's like a way simpler process. Took me way too long to figure it out, but hey, I'm giving you guys all the tips now. So here we go. So that's what I did with this kick sample and the snare sample. You can also, it's all pitch now too. So like if you're doing hip hop stuff, you can do, like those snare rolls, or it's always fun. Modern problems require modern solutions. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have plenty of problems that I'm still looking for solutions for. All right, let's get this snare going. All right, again, this is like really basic, but we're gonna get there. All right, I think we need some sort of like a bass. So when I'm using, what should I use on this actually? Should I do like some sort of like a funk bass? I mean, it's funky. That would make sense. Let's do that. Let's see what we can get here. All right. My chat disappeared again. Live chat. There we go. All right, let's find a funk bass. So let's go down here. I've got this prime bass in Contact. Let's check this out. Come on. There we go. Funky Fingers. Maybe there's something in here. Oh, come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. We have a visitor. Come here. Hi, my little bud. Yes. Look who it is. Look who it is. This is my studio assistant for the day. Yeah. It's Chester Bear. Chester, look. Say hi to all your fans out there. Aw. Yeah. Oh, now he wants belly rubs. All right, Chester, I'm working. All right, so let's see. What key are we in? It's like C minor, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Let's try it. That didn't track well at all. Let's turn down this kick and snare because they're killing my ears right now. All right, that's not working. All right, so I'm gonna add in like a bass amp because I'm just not really getting the volume that that I'm wanting here. So Chester made his appearance. All right, let's see. Let's find the notes. Let's figure out what works here. All right, this is let's just do that. But I'm gonna mute that kick. Still don't like it. Unmute. Here we go. Got some new people in the chat. What's going on? Let's see, can I see who's in here? No, of course not. All right, so we're gonna try something else. We are going to try just actually playing the bass instead of having the MIDI play it. Prime bass. Okay. Sounds pretty close. All right, little too, even worse. Somebody asked to see my hands. Who are you, the cops? All right, let's just play around. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe it follows the guitar. Maybe it follows? I don't know. Gotta remember what I played. Better. Not sure if I love it. Okay, getting there, something. How you guys doing? Still good? All right, this is where I save it. What should I call this? YouTube stream 1. Aptly titled. All right, I want some, let's find like some funk hats. Now, usually this is something that I would probably program, but because we're on a little bit shorter of a timeline, I'll probably just bring in some sort of a sample. So I like to use samples, but depending on what I'm working on, I try not to use melodic samples, just because, especially for like film and sync stuff, TV stuff, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble down the road with like content ID and copyright issues and stuff. Even though people like all pull from the same packs and use the same samples, you know, one guy can claim that, well, it's his, you know, it's his track, and then it just becomes confusing and it's a legal mess. But as far as like one-shot samples go, like drum samples, I don't really have too much of a problem with those because, you know, you can't really copyright a kick. That's hard. Okay. All right, we're starting to get somewhere. I think we should probably add in like some claps too. Like, you know, you always kind of hear claps in like funk songs. That's nice. One thing I like to do is I don't like to use the same clap each time, just because I think that like the ear can pick up on that kind of stuff. And so I'll find some samples that kind of sound a lot alike, but you know, they're a little bit different. So that one's short. This one's got some verb on it, a little too much. So this is our first one. That's not bad. Maybe if we pitch this up, let's see. Pitch it up a hair. Let's try it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, snare's getting there. All right, coffee break. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. Like I said, this is the first one I've done, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of having fun. All right, getting there, getting there. Let's add in, let's do something fun. What can we do? Maybe like some horns or like strings. Ooh, that could be cool. Let's try that. Let's get some strings. All right, for strings, recently I've been using the Sinus, what is it? Sinus strings? No, that's not it. Cinematic Studio Samples. There we go. Brittany's asking what kind of coffee. Well, at the moment, I think this is that donut blend or something from Keurig. Breakfast blend, donut shop. That's what it's called, donut shop. With a little bit of sugar and a little bit of half and half. No Kahlua today. All right, here we go. All right, full ensemble. All right, I'm gonna go here. Pull down more. I'm gonna go delay. Thanks, Britt. We're gonna go 50 milliseconds around there. It's a little. One more time. A little less sloppy. Cool. That will work. Let's quantize that bad boy. Ooh. Gotta pull that delay back. Let's go here. Still going, still going. All right. What's my live chat saying? Anything? What DAW are you using? Bo Big Reds. So I'm using Logic. I pretty much do everything in Logic, and I do a little bit of work in Pro Tools every now and then when I'm working in more like the film and TV stuff. Sometimes I do audio editing as well. That usually gets done in Pro Tools. If I'm creating, I pretty much work in Logic just because it's, for me, it's the easiest because it's the one that I know the best. And it's the one that I've been working in the longest. So I know all the hotkeys. I know all the shortcuts. Yeah, I get asked all the time, like, what's the best DAW? And my answer to that is the best DAW is the one that you know how to use. They all do the same stuff. You know, there's pros and cons to everything, but I use Logic. Logic's great. And there's a lot of really good stuff in Logic. I saw another comment here. What's my favorite city I've ever toured in? Ooh. That's a good question. South America is really fun. There's a lot, like the fans down there are crazy in the best way. They're so passionate, and if they like you, then they're gonna like you forever. Hopefully they like you forever. But yeah, the fans down in South America are awesome. Had a lot of fun in Italy. Yeah, Europe is great. Amsterdam, I love Amsterdam. Amsterdam's my favorite city. There's some great stuff in the US. Like, it's always fun, you know, being on the West Coast. It's always fun to go to the East Coast just to, you know, check out different parts of the country. Places like Boston, New York is always great. Chicago's really fun. What about the Netherlands? Yeah. Yes, Andy, just like Louisiana in South America. Yeah, I have a lot of fun. You know, touring it's just fun. It's like the greatest way to see the world. You get to, you know, do it with friends, and you get to go play music for people. Like, that's the coolest thing. That's the coolest thing I've ever done is I learned how to play an instrument, and it took me around the world. And now we're here, talking to the world on YouTube. All right. So we've got those strings. Those strings just aren't really punching it enough for me. So let's double those up. And here, we'll pull down the octave on this. Again, I wish I could show you guys what I'm doing. But I can explain it. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm playing the higher register, and then I'm doubling it down into the lower registers. Because this is a full ensemble patch, I get like the entire, you know, section of strings. So I get cellos, violas, violins, basses if I need them. I probably won't use basses on this. But... All right. So to give you guys like some reference here, this is what it sounds like with just the one set of strings. Yeah, see, we're getting lost in the sauce here. The guitar's way too loud. Now, if I go and I add in those other sets of strings, it sounds like this. Which is way better. Cool. So now, the strings sound good. Now I think what I could do is I could actually layer in some brass with that as well. So let's do that. Let's go back to Contact. Come on. The little engine that could. That's what this computer is. Yes, we will get rid of you. I will pull up some brass. Where's my brass at? Come on. Here we go. We will go, let's go mid brass. Mids sound good, right? All right, I don't like those. Let's try a different patch. Check the chat. What's your favorite song you've ever written / performed or produced? Ooh, that's a good one. I think, well, if we go back to like the Heffron Drive days, my favorite song that I produced was probably Fingers Crossed, which was on our Slow Motion EP. That one was just like, it was just fun to do from beginning to end. The whole process was really fun. We brought in our friend Bryce from a band called Lifehouse, and he co-wrote it with us, and then he also played bass on the track, which was really cool because we were like, hey, you know, we loved Lifehouse growing up, and having him be a part of it was just like such a cool experience, and he's just like such a good guy, and he rips on bass, so that was fun to have like that bass played in there. All right, let's try these trumpets. Let's see what this sounds like. Not great. All right, I think these Staccatissimo. There's Italian for you. Yeah, let's try that. That sounds decent. So what we could do is just drag down what we already recorded. It's the same notes. All right, turn that delay off. Now it's behind or ahead. Let's. Okay. I hate when this happens. That's kind of one of these things that you run into with these with some of these plugins, because they're so big, the libraries are so big that it takes so much CPU that you start to get into these like lagging issues. And it doesn't have anything to do with your buffer rate. It actually has everything to do with the way that the program, the VST was designed, so that you're getting all the articulation in there. But sometimes it just kind of like screws things up a little bit. There we go. Just needed a little more room in the beginning. All right, so let's see where we're at now. I like to do this where I just kind of like, you know, I'll work on something for a bit and then I get so like in there that I'm like, I don't even remember what I did. So I just go back and I'll listen through pretty frequently, pretty regularly, to kind of hear like what my ear picks up, what I'm looking for, what I want to hear, if there's like an idea that pops up. So let's listen. Here, let's do this. So one of the things that I like to do a lot when I'm working on something, obviously this is just kind of like for this YouTube live stream, but if I was like really working on something and I'm like, okay, you know, I need to like really dig in, a really great tool is to use references. And I didn't do that for a while when I first started off producing, and that's like one of the best tips that I think I could give somebody, is to use references. Hey, what's up, Camila? So let's go on Spotify here. I'll type in 70s funk, and then what I'm listening for is like, what were they using? What kind of instruments were they using? Like, obviously there wasn't the technology that exists today didn't exist then, so they had to like do most things live. Synthesizers were starting to come into play. So let's see what we can do. I mean, no better than James Brown for funk. Okay, so right off the top, I hear like this weird, kind of like guitar slide up thing. So let's add some sort of like melody, because the guitar that's in there in my track right now is just a, it's kind of like a rhythm part. So we can kind of create like a bit of a call and response here. Let's do that. Let's see what happens there. Gotta hit record. Easy. All right, clean this up a little bit. Now that might not be the, the final tone that I use, but at this point we're really just kind of like sketching out the idea, you know what I mean? So let's go on here, line this up a little bit. Yeah, I don't always quantize everything. It kind of just depends on the genre that I'm working in. Things with live instruments, I'll try to quantize like the downbeat of the one so that everything kind of hits at once. But I love the live feel, the push and pull that naturally happens when humans play instruments. If I was doing something like an EDM track, everything gets quantized. That's what you want to hear. You want to hear everything on beat. That's what your ear is used to. But for stuff like this, it can move and groove a little bit, because that's human. That's what we do. So I actually might go back to something a little bit dirtier now, because that's a little too clean. What is this? What's this one sound like? So for guitars, what I'm doing, I pretty much do my guitars direct in. I will record amps every now and then if I am looking for something specific, but I've been using the Bias Effects 2 for guitar stuff, and I love it because you can just build pedal boards, patches, you've got all these different amps, and you can kind of just go wild. The other really cool thing about this plugin is that there's what I want to call it, like a store, like an online store, and other users can upload patches that they've built, and you can download those, most of them for free. Some of them, I think, like depending on which version of the program you bought, you might have to like either pay or upgrade or something like that. But there's some really good stuff in there, and I kind of love using this program. All right, so what does this sound like now? Okay, I mean that's not bad. It's good for now. It's a something. But that cutoff was too much, so let me drag that back a little bit. Let's check the chat. Can we see the screen? Yes, you can see my screen. Yeah, I would love to figure out how to live stream it. I have OBS so that I could do that. However, my computer will not let me. So here, that's a little better, right? Yeah, that's better. Here we go. All right. Maybe it's the levels. Maybe I don't like the level. Let's pan this to the left. We'll do the response to the right. Now it's too low. Another thing that I would like to add in, let's go back here. We'll go to Shaker. One of the tricks I like to use when I'm using Splice is I like to go, if I'm looking for like a loop or something, I'll put it in here for loops, and then I'll go to the BPM, and I'll go 4 to 6 BPM above and below what my session BPM is. So at this point, The session's at 106, so I'll go from 100 to 112. Whoops, 112. There we go. So I'm 6 above, 6 below, and that I find like if you need to time stretch things, you don't really want to go more than that because the artifacts in the samples start to get a little bit wonky. Thankfully, there's probably quite a bit around the 106 BPM, but let's just find something real quick. That's nice. First one, love that. So we'll add this in here. Another thing I've noticed with funk tracks is percussion just like adds so much. If you go back and you listen to those Michael Jackson records, like anything that Quincy Jones was touching, there's just so much percussion in there, and that's where that vibe comes from. That feeling like it just adds so much. So let's see. Maybe this isn't the right sample, but let's listen. Let's see what happens. Let's listen without. Here it is with it. All right, now I don't like that second call and response. So what were we doing? Maybe just like we add something different in there just to give it some variation. Here, add that, flatten, bring him back, add some of that there, make sure this is lined up. Yep. There we go, let's turn this off. That'll kill your ears. All right, here we go. All right, let's listen. Let's see what that did. Cool. Yeah, I like doing something like that. Maybe that's not what it ends up being, but just something to like keep the listener engaged and so it's not too repetitive. Because your listener, they will start to pick up on patterns. And when a melody comes over this, when a songwriter comes in and starts throwing lyrics and melody over this, a lot of this will kind of get buried because you're focused on the lyrics and melody. But as just an instrumental, I like to keep things fresh. Every 4 to 8 bars, something is either coming in or coming out or changing melodically or something is changing. So yeah, let's listen to what we have here, and then I think we can probably start wrapping this up. But yeah, cheers. All right, here we go. All right. Well, that was fun. It's only 4 bars, but there's the bones of something. And oops, here we go. This could turn into anything, or it might not turn into anything as well. yeah, but this is like what I do. I just like sit and work on music, and sometimes things come out of it, and other times it's just good practice. Today I think it's just a good practice day, but you know, we made a basic little funk track. Yeah, I think we're getting close to wrapping up. Do you guys have any questions or anything for me? Let me check the chat again. What's up, Petra? Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming. I think this was a successful first live stream, and let's do it again. We'll do it again next week, I think, if I'm in town. If not, we'll figure out another time. But yeah, thanks for coming, guys. See ya.